I do like the under. I don't think they keep it within the number, though. I think you are going to see Notre Dame run all over Navy. I think it's going to get very ugly from the jump. I think the defense is going to lock them down. Yeah, give me the Snakes. I'll lay it today. I think Merrill Kelly pitches really well against them today, but I just think that bullpen is going to get destroyed.
Are you guys hearing what I'm hearing? Javon just took the meat out and faded his own squad. He's fading the Reds today. This is like Christmas. This is unbelievable. Chat, meat on tape tonight for the Commanders ML. I can't stress this enough. I will have a rack on them in the preseason. That's the most I'm going to put on a team in the preseason because it's preseason. But it's my favorite bet so far the NFL year. If you're not taking it, I can't help you. Football is here, ladies and gents, and you can make some serious coins responsibly on the Commanders ML. W new intro, chat. Let's fucking go. BTL episode 301 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I feel great after the Dodgers tucked in last night, Javon. I slept like a freaking baby.
Super tucked.
I slept like an infant in a Gerber commercial. It was unbelievable. I don't think I've ever slept that well in my entire life. Let's freaking go, chat. Can we get some W's going? The squad ride is back. It absolutely smacked last night. And there's a lot of green check marks on that screen, if I could say so myself. Let's have a day, folks. Let's have a Monday, Javon. We don't usually dominate on Mondays. All right. I'll be completely transparent. Monday's not our best days. But we absolutely, cleared up shop last night and freaking destroyed the bookies. Let's fucking
go. That was solid.
Let's go.
You got a Yankees and Dodgers on the card. Just crazy to see.
Yep. For some reason, man, when I click that button on Yankees ML, they win. And Aaron Judge hits a nuke. He did it again last night.
100%.
Unbelievable. People are saying he might have seen the graphic of his little shrunken down body, like the Kyler Murray meme. People are saying he might have saw that on Twitter the other day, and that's why he's hitting home runs now. I don't know. I'm not going to confirm or deny. I do know that Soto did sell last night, but I have a feeling maybe he gets us back some coins today for Dinger Tuesday. All right, chat. W day yesterday. How about the freaking Dodgers last night, chat? How about Trent absolutely counting his guap? How about Trent counting his guap yesterday? 7 racks he made on the books. Rare Trent W. What a fucking day. I believe every favorite hit yesterday, Javon. That definitely had something to do with this. Okay. I know he tweeted out that maybe he takes a day off today after all the favorites won yesterday. My goodness, that's some hard work if I've ever seen it. I mean, Javon, you're speechless. You don't even have any words.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Look at that one. Look at the blue one.
That one is ridiculous.
Look at the blue guy.
Yeah.
Look at the blue guy. What is that? That is unbelievable.
That's a surgical 6 if I've ever seen one. He's getting warmed up for the NFL season with that.
Yes, he is. He's literally cracking the fingers, getting loose, stretching, getting ready for the NFL season, chat. I hope you guys are too. I know he's dropping the go well, I believe, on Friday, chat. I hope you guys are fucking ready. I've taken a peep at it. It looks pretty good. I can get behind it. I'll be tailing it. Javon, I'm sure you had some whispers in Trent's ear looking at some of those squares that got put in there, which could be a W. Could be a W.
Could be. We'll see.
Surgery. What a day, chat. Who is that? Davey Martinez's burner. You're not going to believe this, but that's Trent. These are his slips, bro. What a freaking night last night. I hope you guys sweated out on Night Sweats. That was absolutely electric. A $7,000 in the green day for the kid. Unbelievable.
That's insane.
Yep. Look, he trusted the squad ride. He even said it last night. It almost brought tears to my eyes. He said, I wasn't even going to take the Dodgers today. I hate taking Bobby. I hate fading Gallen, but it was the squad ride. So I put it in there. I took it. Next thing you know, he's got a 6-piece green parlay and he's got $7,000 in his pocket. Unbelievable, chat. If you guys aren't freaking taking the squad ride responsibly every single day, we can't help you. We can't. As simple as that.
Tap in.
We'll leave it at that, chat. Tap in. I know you guys are hip. Night Sweats ended at 2 a.m. last night. Yeah, it was a late one. And how about Jason Hayward, his old ass, coming through for the boys?
Yeah, saw that.
They're stacked. When those veterans are hitting well at the bottom of that lineup, talk about Peralta, talk about Hayward, talk about Muncy coming through last night. When these veterans are locked in, we already know Mookie and Freddie are doing their jobs. Is anybody getting in the Dodgers' way of a World Series this year, or are you still doubling down on your take preseason that you like the Dodgers to win the World Series?
I've never wavered off of that through the entire season, and I'm sticking to it until I see the last pitch of them going home. I still think they are the eventual World Series champions here, and I will stand on that.
Why change your opinion now? They're playing their best baseball of the season. You're Dodgers.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have any futures tickets in?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have the one from preseason, of course. I debated jumping in again after the early little slump, which I ultimately didn't do. But I definitely am looking at it again. Might get back in. So I'll be looking forward to betting them the postseason. That'll be for sure.
100%. And chat, we'll definitely do some MLB futures when we get closer to the postseason. We still have about a month. All right. I so badly wanted to get sandwiched in between crab's cake and Javon's scrumptious milk. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one out.
Crazy.
Nasty, you might need to go talk to somebody. You might need to seek help. All right. But it seems like you tell the squad ride, maybe you're just delirious from all your winnings. All right. We need to get
that's fair. We can't blame him.
He might need to go look at himself in a mirror after that one. All right. We got a sub bang from Loic, I believe. Loic K coming in with a sub bang. W's, get the vibes right for this Tuesday morning. Let's freaking go. Chat, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to do some Ryder Cup talk. Looks like the U.S. set their team. We're going to talk about the Cardinals tanking. I've never seen a team tank so blatantly in my entire life right in front of everybody, and I feel like people aren't talking about that enough. We'll talk about T.J. Watt for a second. You guys know we got to go over the cheat sheet today. Javon has blessed us with some more milk. Got to go over the cheat sheet, and we got a ton of MLB games today. A ton to go over. I know we did a lot of NFL talk yesterday, a lot of football talk, chat. We'll make sure we find you guys some winners on today's MLB slate because at the end of the day, That's the most important thing. Cash is king. Let's find some winners for Tuesday's slate. We got Dylan Mann coming in with a sub bang. Vikings team total over he likes. Dylan, could you get behind that? Is he talking about the Vikings win total over?
If it's win total over, you're certainly speaking to me. I can't say I'm super thrilled to take their team total over against the Bucs week 1, if that's what we're talking about.
Okay. Sure. Definitely could get behind the win total though, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. Love the Vikings.
Love the Vikes in the NFC. That conference stinks. Someone's got to come out of there, right?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, especially in the North. A lot of teams getting slurped except them because they're super fortunate last year. We'll see. Don't doubt Big Kirk.
We will indeed be seeing, and speaking of we'll be seeing, chat, make sure you guys check out the new pod that just dropped on the YouTube. Goots, we'll put the link in there in chat. If you want to flash up the tweet from Bookit as well during the show, please feel free. Make sure you guys check out the new pod. All right. Trent's on there talking about Drake mushing his 10U play or something like that. Make sure you guys check out the pod on YouTube. The Bookit Squad's been killing it with the We'll Be Seeing podcast. Check that one out. All right, guys. Let's dive into some Ryder Cup talk, chat. All right. We can get this beautiful squad ride green slip out of here. Javon, I know you're not the biggest golf sharp, although this event, which I'm sure you're familiar with, is pretty freaking cool. After the golf season ends, you get the U.S. Versus EU pretty much in England. And the U.S. team, they opened up minus 220 chat. They've officially set the teams, and they're down to minus 140 right now, Javon. A lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on the TL talking about Europe having some serious value at the plus 140 line here. And look, I know they can tie, but that's not going to happen, chat. Here's the deal. All right. We've got Brooks Koepka. He's playing in this. That could be huge for the U.S. We know he only really comes through and plays well in important spots. And I'd say this is a pretty important one with him leading the charge here as a captain's pick for the Team U.S. I'm excited to watch Brooksy compete. I know our guy Goots is excited to watch our guy Max Homa compete. A lot of really good golfers on this team. I will say the majority of the U.S. team is not very flashy. They got a lot of guys like Brian Harman, the little lefty, and a couple dudes at the bottom, Wyndham Clark as well, who aren't, the biggest names, but they're playing their best golf they ever have right now. So I'd like to put my coins on them, and I still think it's a good sign they're a favorite. But we're seeing a lot of people tweeting out, talking about, Team England having some value. We saw TTP tweet out about, Team England having value at plus money. I'll be honest with you, chats. The U.S. team has not won one of these Ryder Cups away from the U.S. since 1993. It's not going to be easy, but seeing guys like Morikawa, JT, Spieth, Ricky, and Burns, who's playing some really good golf right now, I like my chances with those guys on Team U.S., and I know the England team looks stacked, right? They've got a bunch of really good golfers on that side with Hovland, Rory, and Rahm kind of leading the charge. But I think I want to fade those big names, and I want to take the hot U.S. hands who might not be the most famous guys, but they're playing their best golf, like Brian Harman and Wyndham Clark. I think these guys pull it out. Give me the U.S. to win their first Ryder Cup away from the United States on the away turf since 1993. I think they get it done. And yeah, Victor Hovland is on the team England, which is kind of scary, I believe. That's kind of scary because he's dialed right now. I don't know if you saw him this weekend, Javon, but he looked like freaking Tiger Woods.
I've seen. What was it, the back nine? That was absolutely absurd.
I mean, they were talking about him, comparing him to Tiger Woods, and I think that's pretty ridiculous for anybody to be doing that about any golfer right now because nobody will ever be on that level again. But he was so fucking dialed. I haven't seen a golfer run away with a tough tournament like that on a hard course since watching Tiger. So you got to tip your cap. That's going to be a tough guy to beat. But I'm willing to roll the dice and take the U.S. when everyone thinks, Team England is the trendy pick at plus chick. I think I'll be on the U.S. away from home as a little favorite. I thought this line, honestly, just looking at these two rosters, it should be a coin flip pick 'em, and seeing the U.S. at minus 140 is still a great sign. All right, chat. Europe ML plus 150. Get it before European captain makes his picks after the DP Tour conclusion. Yeah, well, Europe's about to get some better guys because they're not going to have to put in those fossils like Sergio Garcia and Ian Poulter and those guys. They'll get some good young guys. So maybe the line will honestly get better then. So I'm in no rush to bet this, but I'm still going to be on the U.S. Give me the hot hand. Give me my lefty, Brian Harman, who looks like he doesn't belong on this roster, but he's been playing like he should be the freaking captain. All right, give me the U.S. and we move.
Did you see what Hovland was eating after he won $18 million?
No.
He was walking off the course eating chips and guac from Chipotle.
Okay.
Gotta love a guy like that. He's different.
I mean, Hovland's an
Fade him.
absolute beast. I'm worried about him, and I don't want to fade him if he's munching on Chipotle guac. We all know that shit's elite. That's definitely concerning. I might have to stay off this game now. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's pivot to some football talk, chat. And yeah, he is one of us for that. Just munching on some Chipotle guac. Absolutely elite. Let's pivot to some football talk, Javon. I don't know if you saw this, but we had a Nebraska tight end, Eric Gilbert, got suspended for robbing a vape shop. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, a little bit. Super strange situation. And I guess part of the reason why he's been bouncing around and is now in Nebraska. So tough scene for him there.
This reminds me of when the Hokies played in the Belk Bowl about 5 years ago. And I think they were playing against Arkansas, and it was Jeremy Sprinkle. Does that name ring a bell, Javon? An old NFL
100%
tight
it
end?
does, yeah.
It was actually a commander, and honestly, it was kind of decent. I don't know what he's doing right now, but I hope he's doing okay. But back in the day in the Belk Bowl, when we were playing against Arkansas in that game, he got caught stealing like $1,000 worth of shit at Belk when they gave these guys pretty much whatever they wanted. It was one of the weirdest situations ever. Now we got Eric Gilbert, a guy who's been bouncing around school to school. He just got bopped for stealing over, $1,500 of vapes and Delta 8. Not even the good shit.
Yeah.
He's stealing Delta 8 for $1,600 and he's risking his college career for it. I don't understand it, man. What are we doing?
Yeah. All while he has a waiver pending, like he's still waiting on the NCAA to allow him to play this year. So
no way.
Yeah. What do you do while you're waiting on the NCAA to make a decision on whether you're eligible or not? Let's go rob somebody. That's a great idea.
You're not even going to go rob him for that good shit. You're robbing him for Delta 8s. You're putting your college career on the line for a couple Juuls and a couple cigars and some Delta. What are we doing, man?
Wild.
God, you're not even on the team yet. You should be staying out of trouble more than normal. What are we doing, chats? We got to be so much better. Stock down on Nebraska this year if they weren't already. Stock down. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Unbelievable. All right, let's move on to talk some Cardinals before we get into the MLB slate chats. Look, I want to pick Javon's brain on this because I've been seeing a lot of this from Commanders Twitter. I know we play the Cardinals week 1, so people are already, kind of happy, which is a little weird, but let me get to it. Look, I've never seen a team tank this blatantly before the season's even started, Javon, and maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm reading too much into this stuff. But look, we know they have Kyler Murray out for at least probably the first half of the season, maybe even the entire season, depending on how bad that team is. Maybe they don't rush him back. I don't know. Either way, he's missing a fat chunk of the year, right? You got Colt McCoy, who's been the backup there for years, one of the best backups in football, very consistent. He gets paid accordingly, right? He's one of the best backups in the whole game over the last couple of years. We know he's not going to go in and win a freaking Super Bowl, but consistent, knows that offense, knows that Cardinals offense specifically because he's been there for years. And you're telling me, Javon, that they cut him a week before the season starts after going through the entire preseason and they pick up Josh Dobbs off the streets, who we saw a team do last year. I think it was the Titans, because Josh Dobbs is known for being one of the most smart QBs in the game. Pick him up. We know he can pick up the offense quick. I totally understand that move. But cutting Colt McCoy a week before the season? I just don't get it, man. The only thing I can think of is that they don't want to win. They saw Caleb Williams play this weekend, and they're all in for the fingernail painting guy. They want Caleb Williams, and I don't blame them, to be completely honest with you. I want the Commanders to get him, potentially, if Sam Howell's not that guy. Javon, are they openly, blatantly tanking? I've never seen a team do this preseason before.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree. They're definitely tanking. I think the one thing that I was reading up on this a little bit, it seems like Colt McCoy looked atrocious throughout like the entire offseason and then preseason and training camp. So the fact that they're definitely tanking, but I think trading him is not necessarily an indication of that. Like I wouldn't be shocked if we see Clayton Tune, start instead of just the Josh Dobbs move that they had traded for a couple days ago. So that would be interesting. I feel like that's the move that we would have said is just openly tanking, them starting Clayton Tune instead, and just feels like Colt McCoy is collateral to that. So it's pretty funny to see how they're going about it. It sucks because I want the Bucks to tank and I want them to contend for the first pick, and I think they'll be there for a little bit. But the Cardinals are outdoing them by 40.
I mean, they're cutting their starting QB a week before the season. Like it's just I've never seen something like this.
Yeah, and I mean, I highly doubt they're going to be all in on Caleb Williams necessarily. I think they're going to be like the Bears, just look to trade the pick. But that's going to be a crazy little haul they're going to get for that.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if they're done with Kyler Murray. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't blame them.
I wouldn't be shocked necessarily, but I don't see it happening. I feel like if they were to make that move away from Kyler Murray, it would have already been stamped. You've already seen
but there's nothing they can really do right now. He has no value. He's hurt. He's recovering. So they're not even going to really talk about it or say anything, I feel like.
I mean, does he get that much value back if he plays the second half of the season on a team that has 2 wins?
If he shows he can still move and he's healthy and he's recovered, then yes, I would say so. It doesn't really matter what the team's record is. He's still, Kyler Murray, big name, QB.
Fair.
Yep. We'll see, chat. I don't know. I would not be surprised, and I know this is a little bit more of a hot take, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kyler Murray's days in Arizona are done. I really wouldn't. And doing stuff like this a week before the season, it kind of just adds fuel to my fire here, boys. It really does. What do you guys think? You think the Cardinals are already selling out? They're trying to get rid of Kyler Murray, or they just tank it for the number 1 overall pick, and maybe they'll flip it like the Bears did, like Javon was saying? I could see both. But I don't think they're a big Kyler Murray fan at this point, and I wouldn't blame them. And there's probably some shit going on behind the scenes we don't even know about. All I know is that guy gets more excited for Call of Duty drops than he does for opening day. And that's an issue. Yeah. All right, chat. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about TJ Watt, and then we're going to do the cheat sheet here. Guys, TJ Watt, people forget, I think it was 2021, Javon, when he had 22 and a half. He might have had 22 and a half sacks. I think that's his own record he's trying to break. That is ridiculous to put up 20 or more sacks in a year. And he was on the McAfee show earlier, Javon, talking about this season. And I'm a fan of the Steelers this year. McAfee said if he's able to break his own sack record this season, he's going to donate $500K to charity, which is awesome. But I want to talk about the realistic, chances of this happening. Put the charity money to the side. That's great. Is there any chance TJ Watt breaks his own record this season, Javon?
I mean, there's definitely a shot. It's definitely a lofty goal there, and I think rightfully so. But he's just such a guy. Like when you watch the Steelers, he looks dominant in ways that a lot of guys don't. So he's super entertaining to watch. But majority of the Steelers for the last couple of years haven't been, obviously. So when he's on the field, he can be absolutely incredible, and I wouldn't be shocked as long as he can stay on the field.
He's getting triple teamed. He's probably been getting triple teamed since the second year in the league when people found out he was a freak. And he does have a health issue, 100%. He keeps getting banged up, and that might not be slowing down with the position he plays. He's going to be getting pancaked out there. I'm with you, Chad. He's going to be getting double teamed, triple teamed for sure. He's going to be getting the shit kicked out of him, but he's also different. And for you to be able to get 22 and a half sacks while missing a couple games in that season, that is absurd.
So different. So
that is absurd. And he's in a great system, right? He's in a perfect system for this. He's the leader of that defense. Their defense is good. They rely on that defense. His team isn't scoring 40 points a game. He's in the perfect system to do it. Chat, he's at 13 and a half sacks on Prize Picks for this season. Javon, I don't know if this has gotten bumped at all. I don't know if you're able to check real quick and see if it has, but I would not mind one bit squaring up for Kitch and taking TJ Watt to record more than 13 and a half sacks this season.
Yeah, I have absolutely zero argument. Hasn't gotten bumped, so it stayed right there. But
okay. Yeah,
for guys like that who they're determined to hit a certain goal, just like we're talking about that with Dak, I have zero problem going to that problem, really on that square.
For a guy like TJ Watt, we know it's not just blowing smoke to the media. This guy is going to back up what he's saying. He's a freak. He's an absolute beast.
100%.
Chad, that could be a decent look for a little NFL season square. TJ Watt more than 13 and a half sacks. What do you think about that number?
It seems like a fair number.
Okay.
I can look really quick at what he's done these past couple of years. See
and
kind of roundabout
you can look and see. Good. See what the other guys are at for sacks. Let's see what some of those other linebackers are at. I'm curious. I'm assuming he's probably leading the league, or at least has the highest, number here for his square. But let's see what else we're working with here.
Yeah,
for the sacks category.
When he's 15 or 16 games in a season, he is mostly beyond, but he's had 4 years where he's had 15 or 16 games, 13, 14 and a half, 15, 22 and a half. So, I mean, if he stays on the field,
that
seems very achievable. Yeah.
Any of these other guys you want to take? They got some freaking bulls up here, dudes. I know Donald's saying he's feeling the best he's ever felt. He's going to be carrying that defense. I wouldn't mind giving that a look. I mean, Nick Bosa's at 15.25. That's insane. He's like that, though. But is he even playing this year? Or is he still holding out?
I don't even think did he report yet?
I don't even think he's showed up to camp yet. Yeah, Kobe's saying he hasn't even showed up.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe Mad Max. He's a freak.
He's ridiculous. I mean, I definitely have tonsils glued to the Browns at all times this season, but I think you're staring at Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, right there. So I would have no problem going to him in any form or fashion, but especially sacks. He's going to be an absolute wrecking ball this year.
Do they have Montez Sweat up here, or do they just have Chase Young? I'll tell you what, Chase Young ain't getting 8 sacks this season. I'll tell you that much. Ooh. Gosh, I wish they had our freaking guy up there, though. Oh. I mean, Javon, I'll tell you what, he's not getting 8 sacks. So keep that in mind. Okay? Maybe a little Phil Zutley fade on Chase Young 2 years in a row. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move. Let's go to the MLB cheat sheet chats. We've got plenty of plays to talk about today, and we got plenty of time. And I'll tell you what, Nick Chubb is getting 10 touchdowns this season, and we'll talk about that probably next week. Okay? He's getting 10, and he's going to be leading the charge in that offense. That offense is going to be unbelievable. I still need to find a way to back the Steelers and the Browns in that division. That's something we got to talk about as well, Javon, because I think those teams are going to dominate. And I think maybe all those teams might make the freaking playoffs this year. That would be fucking nuts.
That would be insane. That would be insane.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Not at all.
Teams are going to be so good, dude.
They're going to be stacked, dude. We got to find a way to back all those teams. Maybe we take, that comp or that division to win the Super Bowl and sprinkle. I don't know. We got to find a way to back them. But let's go over the cheat sheet for today, Javon. We got to cut the BS. We've got about an hour to talk about MLB plays today. A ton of games. Take us through what you like.
Yeah. I guess we can start at the bottom again because I guess home run targets are pretty somewhat correlated. Short and sweet on the Pirates. They suck against lefties. I think everybody knows that. They also suck against lefties with high velo, which we've seen guys like Jesus Luzardo. I mean, even if you want to include Framber in there, like a lot of the lefties that throw absolute gas, have a fastball and then a sharp breaking ball, have been destroying the Pirates. And that's why they've been a favorite, I guess, for strikeout targets with lefties or strikeout squares or whatever it may be. Today, they face Cole Reagans, who has been absolutely dominant out of nowhere since he's been traded to the Royals. His fastball's been touching 100. He has a sharp breaking ball, too, which is perfect. Perfect recipe, I think, to deal against the Pirates. So I like his matchup a lot today. So I'll be taking them through the first 5. I think he deals. Your guy, Mackenzie Gore, is horrendous on the road as of late, which is kind of weird to see, even against like some teams that aren't really great against lefties. And now he gets to face the Blue Jays, who, of course, now are at home, but they also have been destroying lefties in the past, really all season, but especially in the last couple months. And they've been playing really like shit for a majority of these, really since the All-Star break. And it hasn't been because they can't hit lefties. They're still top of the league or near that in pretty much every statistical category against lefties, especially lately. So I'm thinking this trend is going to continue. He's going to continue to struggle on the road. And I think the Jays, it's going to be a Gore short today. A little bit. Then Brian Bayo. I don't love backing the Astros off of what happened yesterday, but when it's Brian Bayo, who has a 44% hard hit rate, like it says here, and he's also really struggles against lefties. And who do you have who destroys power from the left side or has power from the left side? Jordan and Kyle Tucker. He dodged a lot of traffic in that last start where he was pitching with a massive lead in the same little pitching matchup with him and JP France. He gave up 9 hits in this game. And he was honestly very fortunate that it didn't spiral any further because he had guys like Jordan that were pummeling baseballs right to people. So, he's pitching with a big lead in that game. He's giving up a lot of hard contact. Now you see all of his props a lot higher than they were and continuing to move that way. Yes, they're in Fenway, so you're going to see a lot higher numbers. Yes, the Astros scored a bunch, but I think you get a little bounce back for the Astros here, and you have Brian Bayo starting against them in 2 consecutive starts, especially from, the guys, the lefties on that sheet right there, the 2 Corp guys. So I'm down to back them today. I can move up to the top a little bit. Some of the, I guess, standard guys. I have a weird feeling about this Brewers Cubs game, at least early. And I know you kind of disagree, not just because of some of the stuff we see on the books with the boost and everything, but we have a 6.5 total now in Milwaukee and Chicago in Wrigley. And it feels like to me it's going to be one of those weird games where you see runs pretty early in the first couple of innings, and then we see them kind of settle in a little bit. So I think there's going to be a quick it's caked moment like Trent had with the Cubs total yesterday. And then we see like Corbin Burns does it all the time. He looks terrible in the first couple of innings, controls everywhere, that he somehow settles in for a Cy Young caliber start. So then I kind of think that's going to happen. And who do we have at the top of the lineup? Both of these guys that I have on the sheet here have seen these pitchers a lot along with the rest of the team. So I think we get that boost on the Nerfy, which is huge for a 6.5 total game. So I like their matchups. Love Verdugo today. I think that's going to be one of the most important way the Red Sox score runs. Love Marcus Semien today as well. Had to have somebody against Merrill Kelly because the Dodgers destroy him pretty much every time they see him. Yeah, I mean, he's been actually, like, in comparison to last year, pretty decent against them this year. But, again, he's given up a lot of hits, a lot of hard contact. So I think that kind of comes back to bite him in the ass today. Home run targets, the same caliber guys. Peter Lambert gets away with a lot of hard contact as well as of late. And now you're facing the Braves and Coors. Good luck. And then Mackenzie Gore, same deal. A team who's been murdering lefties. Now you're on the road where you've already been terrible. Good luck. That'll probably do it.
Look, we've seen the Nats starters take a step back, the young guys at the end of the season. We saw it last year too. I don't know what it is. Maybe you can give me some of your baseball knowledge, but I mean, Josiah has lost it completely. Mackenzie's been getting rocked recently. These guys are walking everybody. They're not locked in. Is it a young guy thing? Is it, their arms are gassed? Is it because we have Jim Hickey as a pitching coach and that guy is literally 90 years old? What is it? Or are these guys just not it? Is it, just ups and downs? Am I overreacting, Javon? Because it's both our good young arms have really struggled over the last 2 months.
Yeah, so when you have, like I see this with the Rays all the time, when you have a young pitcher who makes, like this is probably their first full season being able to make like a significant adjustment, which I guess with Mackenzie Gore, he did a little bit of that. Josiah Gray did a little bit of that positively. Start to burn out towards the end, especially if you're not playing for anything. So I wouldn't take too much stock into it. It's more of maybe a little bit of a fatigue thing, but also like this is the first season having to deal with a massive adjustment throughout a full nearly 162 game season. So it's almost September now, and the Nats are not out of playoff contention technically, but they're really not really playing for much. So it's just the state of affairs in DC.
100%. Look, the Nats did their job, right? The young guys grinded. They got Davey Martinez a contract extension. They got Mike Rizzo a contract extension. And now that they've done that, they're calling up a lot of these guys from AAA to see what they've got. They're not really trying to win games right now. Their job is done. They got their manager who they love, a contract extension. Now they're looking to next year. So I would not be backing the Nats much towards the end of the season. And it doesn't hurt that, Mackenzie and Josiah, who are two guys who were undervalued at the beginning of the year, are now a little overvalued and they're not pitching too hot. So I'm with you. I'm in. And do we have time for a quick Kenny Pickett story? Quick 1-minute story here about his tiny hands. Kind of funny. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Kenny Pickett, he went to Pitt, right? ACC guy, obviously played against my Hokies when we were there. One of my best friends growing up is good buddies with Kenny Pickett. He was his center growing up on Pee Wee football up in Jersey. Pretty crazy. They're still buddies. Pitt was coming into town, and my buddy's super excited. He's like, Pitt's about to roll over us. They're about to destroy us. Pickett's looking good. This is when Pitt was actually pretty nasty, and they're coming into VT when we stink. And it starts to rain that whole day, and we're up tailgating early. I'm talking to my buddy about it, and he's looking a little nervous. And I'm like, dude, what's going on here? He's a little quiet. He's like, dude, Kenny can't really play in the rain, bro. He can't really play in the rain. He's got tiny hands. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? It's Kenny Pickett. He's going to come in and absolutely tear up the Hokies. We are atrocious right now. And we get into the game, right? It's raining. What do the Hokies do? They beat him. He throws picks. He has fumbles. Little Hands Pickett couldn't handle the rain or Lane Stadium. It was wild. I think we had our biggest bet at the time of our lives there. It was like sophomore year of college. Probably wasn't that fat, but we all nuked VT because we heard the Kenny Pickett Little Hands story, and it paid, chat. So I will always remember and love Kenny Pickett for that. He came through, he cashed. It's not his fault he's got little hands, and he's actually done pretty freaking well. so far in the NFL. He's definitely proved me wrong so far. He's looked pretty good. Got to give credit where credit's due. I was not a believer. I'll be completely honest with you. He looked pretty good last season. Real quick, are you stock up or stock down on Kenny Pickett and his little hands?
Oh, I'm stock far up. I
Good.
think people will see that pretty soon.
Good. Yeah, man. The Steelers are going to find a way to make the playoffs. They're going to find a way to be over 500, or at least, I guess they can't be 500 anymore. They will find a way. They always do.
Sure.
Dude, get your Ravens ass out of here, kids. Get out of here. God. I mean, all four of those teams are insane, and we'll talk about plenty of that coming up. We got plenty of time for football chat. Let's go into Dinger Tuesday. You down? You want to talk some home runs today?
Yeah, sure. Even though they did away with the promo, we're still going after it.
Yeah, because look at this. What is this in front of my eyeballs right now, Javon? Explain this to me like I'm two.
Yeah, well, so I went back and looked at some of the cheat sheets, and if you were to go through all of them in the past 2 weeks, all of them but one would have a home run hitter on it. And most of those are like I have the 5 BVP guys, and then maybe like a name or two sprinkled like at the bottom, like I do today with Jordan and Kyle Tucker. I definitely did that with the 2 A's on the board here with Geloff and Langoliers. But yeah, there's a lot of home run hitters. If you do some good research and follow whatever and take them how you want to take them, you're going to find some dinger plays on there, which has been pretty cool to see. And I've been taking some of them myself. So who knows? Might have some on there today.
What the hell happened on August 21st, man? What were you doing?
Dude, I don't know. I was just not locked in, I guess. I don't know. I think that day was like Altuve was on there, which I think he respected coin, but not with a home run. Austin Riley was on there, didn't do anything.
Gotta be better, man.
Yeah, Soler I think was on there too. It's got to be so much better, dude. So much better.
Chat, look at this, and we'll start at the top and scroll down again. Chat, do you guys realize what this is? Javon's milk he's been providing on the cheat sheet every day is coming to fruition, and he's showing us the Carfax right here in front of us. He's had a guy on that cheat sheet every day besides the 21st. And Javon, we'll talk about that in my office after this because we got to pick it up. We can't be having days like that. All jokes aside, this is nuts. You've picked a guy who's gone yah-yah every freaking game for the last 2 weeks. A couple two pieces at the bottom too to make up for that August 21st. So let's stay dialed.
Yeah,
my goodness.
Let's see some more.
These aren't just goats up there, Javon. I mean, you got Zach Geloff and Shea Langoliers up here.
Yeah,
you got Andrew McCutcheon in a retirement home on here. Like you got guys who you're picking great spots. This is dope.
Super excited to see some more. But yeah, shout out Zach Geloff, absolute goat, and Altuve, who respects coin on the 21st, but he certainly respects coin. I mean, yesterday he was the first name on there, and what do you know? He hits for the cycle. So I mean, shout out Altuve.
Also, I'm assuming that was supposed to be August 28th at the bottom there. If not, you know the future.
Yeah, 28th. You know what I mean.
All right. We want to go into some Dinger Tuesday, guys, we like for today?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's roll. I know you got a couple in your back pocket. Who do you like to hit a bomb today, Javon? We just went over a sheet, absolutely gassing you up about, Dinger Tuesday, guys, and people hitting home runs. Who do we like today? Is there one guy that's making you feel funny or looking at you funny on the board?
Yeah, I have a handful or a couple of them. My favorites are not on the actual sheet, but talk about that in a little bit. I do like one or two. My square guy that I have to go with today, I just talked about everything about Brian Bayo, allowing a lot of hard contact. He sucks against lefties. This guy barreled him up multiple times in the last start where you just saw him. I have to square up and go Jordan. That's my guy, the guy who very obviously I think is the toughest matchup for Brian Bayo today, especially in Fenway Park where you're going to see a lot of runs, or at least I believe you're going to see a lot of runs. So I'm down to go with Jordan. That's my square up guy of the day.
Okay, and we got Ron Mux Clan coming in, giving out another sub. This guy's coming in, giving a sub out almost every day this week. W's Ron, or the last week and a half. Step back Harden. That could be him. That could be James Harden.
Could actually be James Harden.
That could be him. Sub banging as well. We got PP Gurus coming in, sub banging 13 months. Depressed Lions fan. Hey, turn that frown upside down, bub. Your Lions will be okay this season. They won't make the playoffs. Don't take their win total over, but they'll be okay. You'll be fine. We got Knifer. I'll leave it at that. Knifer coming in with the sub bang. 10 months. Let's freaking go, buddy. W's. All right, Javon. You're squaring up for Kitch. You're taking Jordan after he goes 4 for 4 at Wendy's yesterday?
Yep. Only so many times that I can do that, but tomorrow or yesterday and today, run it over.
Okay. Chats, give me some tennis plays for today. Give me some tennis plays for today. We thought about talking tennis, and then we realized we don't know shit about it, and we weren't going to waste your time. Give me some tennis plays in chat, preferably some Prize Pick squares if possible. Do they have those up there? Let me know.
Probably.
Let me know.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Javon, you want to take us to your next play, or do you want me to give mine here?
You can give yours. You can go back
Yeah.
and forth.
Look, and we'll scroll to the top of the odds for this game because there's obviously somebody who stuck out to me at the top, and that's Mr. Duval, who's sitting at like +3 or +265. Crazy. But chat, this is why Javon needs to be listened to and heard during MLB especially. He's hit a home run the last 3 days. And as soon as Javon told me that, I almost locked in his no home run today. But we'll leave that combo for another time. There's another guy on this list who I want to target who has stunk up the place. I could smell him from DC all the way up there in Fenway Park. He stinks. Trevor Story. Thought his odds were a little short today. I think he's got a pretty good matchup. I'd like to take him to go yard in the game with a high total. I think he's got a good matchup against our guy France. I want to back him to hit it bomb today for the Red Sox. Thoughts?
I respect it. I mean, for Story, I think it's going to be all or nothing. See, if you catch him on a good day, you're definitely getting some good value on your side with a good matchup too.
He's up for 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Javon, do you think he deserves that square with how he's been hitting?
Probably not, to be honest with you. I mean, the high total probably plays a little bit into that, but it's a little bit of a weird square for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a couple from that game. Can we get a San Diego? I got one more, and then I'll leave the rest to you, the pro. I got one more guy I want to target today. And I know he hurt us last night, Javon. I know you were absolutely obsessed with Juan Soto TBs. Oh, yeah. You know what? You convinced me too, and I was in, and he didn't come through or respect coins. It is what it is.
He did not.
It is what it is. But what's Juan Soto going to do today that he didn't do yesterday, Javon?
He's probably going to go yard.
He's probably going to hit a nuke today. Okay, it's a tale as old as time, especially with Soto. And look, he put up great at-bats yesterday. He just didn't get the ball out of the park. He had a couple balls yesterday in the warning track. And look, I've seen this guy swing for 5 years. I know when he's locked in. I know when he's not. He was putting up good swings at the plate yesterday. He was being patient, keeping his weight back, turning on it, and pulling the ball to the right center gap, which is when he's at his best, when he's not just yanking the ball down the right field line. So I want to back Soto. When he hurt us yesterday, I want to go back to him and take him to hit a nuke today. It's crazy. I know.
Yeah, it's definitely a little crazy. Let's give you that.
I'll give you one more Philsnug. Okay. I know Lugo and Thompson have been decent recently. Honestly, their stats have been very good. They're not big name pitchers, though. They both got those earned run squares up on Prize Picks. And the way they're looking at me is telling me that they're going to have pretty rough days today, pretty rough outings. And that high total doesn't hurt either, Javon. So I would not mind fading those guys and backing, one of these bats in the Padres games, or even backing a Cardinals bat if you've got any recs, because I think there's going to be runs in this game, especially early. That's why I'm on the first 5 over in this one.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think we're going to see runs here. And I went with a guy who has sneakily been a lefty killer, and a lot of people don't realize it because he's new on the scene, I guess, with the Padres. Took Garrett Cooper. That's my guy today. Which I think you're talking about the earned run squares and the odds and everything. Like it's even weirder for Zach Thompson because they've started to extend him. Like his last couple of outings have been 5 innings, but ultimately he is a bulk starter at the most. So he's not fully extended. And every time you see these guys who are newly put into a rotation, just starting to get a little extended up for these earned run squares, it's pretty telling because you do that with the uncertainty of how long they're going to go. So they feel pretty confident in that aspect, and I think he's going to give up runs early and often, especially after how anemic the Padres were against Adam Wainwright at points yesterday. So I think they destroy him early today. And Garrett Cooper, who looks a little high for a guy who's really not known for a lot of power.
Let's go, Ref.
Yeah.
That's all we need to hear. Ref likes him today. Ref, I need to know your favorite home run hitter of the day today. You've got some time. I'll give you 45 minutes. Plenty of time. Don't rush it. Let it come to you. But I obviously need the Ref home run hitter of the day today. You psychic. I need it. All right? And yeah, get LC in chat. Blow her up on Twitter. Get her in here. We need another 3-piece gob. Last time she fed one, it smacked. Somebody get her in chat. W's. Anybody else from this game, Javon?
None from this game.
Mark Vientos.
Ooh, I love Mark Vientos.
That's nasty.
Goat.
You think Mark Vientos is going yard today? A little Marky Mark action?
Yeah, I could see that. I could
Do you know who
100%
Marky
see
Mark
that.
is?
Of course I do. Remember we were at the Mets game and I took him that game.
No, not the baseball player. Do you know who Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch are?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've heard the name, obviously.
Do you know who it is?
Fuck no.
Mark Wahlberg. Used to be a singer.
I know Mark Wahlberg.
Did I just date myself on Javon chat? That's crazy. That might be the first time I've ever done that.
Sure.
Mark Wahlberg used to sing, Javon. Get culture. Okay. And he's got some terrible songs you could probably still find on Spotify. Some atrocious ones.
Wow.
All right, chats. We move. I'm geeking, bro. Matt's probably got like 10 of those songs queued up on his playlist. He's listening to today. He probably took that personally.
Matt's got the vinyls, man. For sure.
Oh, man. Catching strays. I love it. All right. Let's move. Any other games? Any other teams? Any other players you want to target today to go yaya?
Yeah, go to the Jays because I'm going to be targeting, like I said, Mackenzie Gore, another guy who has been fantastic in the split. And, I mean, I guess there's two guys here who I'm really looking at, but my favorite would be Mr. Davis Bonds, Davis Schneider, who's been I don't know like where they pulled him from necessarily, but he has been absolutely incredible, especially against lefties who, I mean, when the Blue Jays have scored runs against lefties, a lot of their numbers have come from him, frankly. So I love his matchup today against Mackenzie Gore. Then the other guy who I'm looking at there who looks a little short to me is George Springer, too, who has been very up and down, mostly down. You're talking about the Blue Jays slumps. He's been one of the big reasons for it, and he's probably been the biggest slump hitter that they've had in their little stretch here. And usually you see a decent chunk of, I don't know, what do you call it, distance between the top hitters in the game and George Springer as of late, and now he's above Davis Schneider, which I think is pretty interesting with the respect that we've seen from him. So those are my two guys there.
And I didn't hear the second one. I heard your pitch, but who are you talking about besides Schneider?
Springer.
You think his odds are a little short?
Yeah, certainly.
Well, that's not good. What is he at? Plus 370? Jesus.
Yeah.
The hell? Also,
Yeah.
people are forgetting Davis Schneider. We don't know where this guy came from or who he is, or he just spawned and now he's one of the best home run hitters in baseball right now. Could he be the coach's son? People forget their manager's name is Schneider.
Just might happen. It
might be the coach's kid. I don't know who this guy is.
The odds don't really look weird to me for this one, but the fact that he's up for a half total base when he's going to be hitting from the right side is interesting too. That one briefly crossed my mind. So I wouldn't be surprised if we to see a moose fest from Mackenzie Gore off the bats here.
Wow. I'll tell you what, somebody in chat name dropped Joey Meneses as well. I would love to know what you think about his matchup today, Javon. But Joey Meneses right now is dialed. I would not be surprised if he puts a ball over the fence in the series. He's looking pretty damn good at the plate right now. He's got some of his pop back.
Yeah, I mean, I have significant trouble figuring out when Joey Meneses is ever going to go yard because he just randomly pulls out just random streaks of power whenever he feels like it in super weird matchups. But I think he can have a pretty decent day. I don't know if he does it with a home run, though, but I think he's up for a hit run RBI on Prize Picks.
He was up yesterday, too, though. He was up yesterday, too.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it's like weird that he's up, but I'm saying I wouldn't mind backing him in that way.
I wouldn't either. He's hot right now. And when he's dialed, he's one of the best hitters in baseball. Check the data. Check the stats, chat. Check the Carfax before you come to me for being biased. He has a second best batting average in baseball over the last 162 games with runners in scoring position. Joey Meneses. Yeah. Who would have thought? Any other home run hitters today? Maybe I will sprinkle a little bit on Joey Bonds today. Anybody else?
Joey Bonds? No, none that are screaming at me anywhere else.
Okay. Any other games with high totals that we need to go to or talk about? I feel like we haven't talked about Atlanta, Colorado enough.
Yeah, we haven't.
And those odds are probably cookied.
Yeah.
But it's at least worth a peep.
Yeah, we do the same song and dance on the surgical stream every time there's a game in course. People are like, oh, these odds are insane. He's at 2.5 hit run RBI, but the whole team is anytime they go there.
Sure.
But I mean, look at the board and tell me who stands out in this game. I think you can pick it out in 2 seconds.
That would be, Matt Olson's odds are really short, but I'm going to go Darno.
I like Darno. I'm taking him on Prize Picks, so I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But look at the guy who's right next to him. He's been up for 2 games.
Is it Eddie?
Hunter Goodman.
Who the fuck is that?
The Rockies just called him up, which he's actually had some really solid at bats. I think he had multiple hits in both of these games, and he's been on the team, but he's not a massive power guy, not a massive extra base hit guy. It hasn't been so far. So it's interesting to see him above. I know like Tovar is on paper not a huge power guy, but he's shown a lot of flashes. So to see him ahead of him is interesting. Same with Elias Diaz, which is interesting. I really don't know why he's as high as he is, which plus 540 is not high in cores, but relative to the other guys, it's pretty strange to see him up there.
He's seeing the ball well. He's got no profile picture. I'm in. Let's go, ref. W's. Shit, there was somebody else. Oh, yeah, Travis d'Arnaud. You still like him?
Yeah, I mean, he's up for bases on Prize Picks. So, I mean, I hope that doesn't end up like a Pilar, and I hope it's more of a Sean Murphy, because Sean Murphy was up for that and was air yesterday too.
Sure.
Yeah, I love his matchup for sure.
I'm in. All right now, chat, we've got a pretty good list of people. We've got Juan Soto, Trevor Story. We've got Jordan, Garrett Cooper, Davis Schneider, sure. George Springer, Joey Meneses, Hunter Goodman, who could be Sal Goodman's son from Breaking Bad. We don't know yet. I'll have to confirm. And Travis d'Arnaud, plus 420. Got to add him. Oh, now he's at the plus 520. He just moved. Okay. Well, still like it. WCLV, chat. We haven't locked it in yet. d'Arnaud plus 520. All right, chat. Anybody else you want to go over? Or do you want to dive into the games for today?
Yeah, we can dive into the games.
Sure. Ozuna is really short, too. I'm not getting Ozuna vibes today, though, chat. I would let you know. Last time I did, he hit, so not feeling him today. Let's go ahead and start us off with the Rays report, Javon. Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, last time Sandy pitched against the Rays, it was a complete game masterclass, and I'm not expecting much different here, to be honest with you. I think he's going to absolutely deal against them again. Now he's at home, which the Rays, that was within their streak, like offensively, where they were not fantastic, which I guess it's been a while now, but starting to pick it back up. I think it's going to end here, or at least this start with Sandy. I think he's going to pitch really, really well. Aaron Savali, same thing. He's coming off of a really good start and a really good matchup against the Rockies, where he had, I think, 9 strikeouts, then started to fall apart at the end, and the bullpen came in, screwed it all up. But I think he pitches really well today, too. So it's a first 5 under 4 in this game for me, because the bullpens are not horrendous, but super questionable on both sides, especially like lately for the Rays. They've been getting bailed out by the bats a little bit, so keep me out of that. But first 5 under.
First 5 under. You think both guys pitch pretty well. Any thoughts on that Savali square that's up? The earned runs?
I haven't even looked at the earned runs yet because they just put all those up. I was waiting for them.
So they got a 2.5 earned run square. I mean, look, it doesn't look that weird, but if you want to square up and go baseball brain, I wouldn't mind backing that.
Yeah, I mean, I have absolutely no issues. I mean, he gave up 2.5 or gave up over that against the Rockies, which really wasn't his fault. They were just runs that were charged to him. But, yeah, I mean, I think he pitches pretty well. Sandy, I think, same thing. His props are obviously a lot higher because the pitching outs are a part of that as well. And I guess everything that he did first time around. So I wouldn't mind backing him either. The 20.5 pitching outs is hilarious.
I mean, what? Should we take his more than 20.5 pitching outs and just go about our day and back the weirdest square he's got up and not overthink it?
Yeah, I mean, I would have no
Probably
issue
should,
there.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a pitches thrown guy. I know Notman Major Matt did this a lot last year. But, I mean, Sandy is probably going to have to be a workhorse in any game that he pitches this well against any team, but especially the Rays. 100 pitches seems also very doable if we think he's going to go 7-8.
I think I'd rather just take this. I've never, ever, ever seen a 20.5 pitching out square in my entire life.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Fair.
I'm in. Sandy at plus 130 to record a win and only at minus 125 fave is wild to me, correlated with high pitching outs line, but still these odds are crazy low.
Yeah, I agree.
Can you
I think it's going
translate
to be
that? What is he saying?
saying should be a little higher. It's like it's Usually, like you see plus 130 or around there to win at a much higher favorite or a much juicier favorites. But I will say for this, baked into that a little bit is the fact that Sandy threw a complete game first time around, but you also know for a fact he's going to go longer than Aaron Savali by.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the pitching outline is a full inning higher, but I think baseball brand wise just tells you, he's going to pitch much longer. He might go 8. But yeah, I think he's going to dominate today too.
All right. I like that square. I get behind it. Matt, if you got another way to back Sandy today, I'm all ears. Let me know in chat, but I think for now we'll roll with that square. Any other Marlins that you wanted to potentially back today, or Rays bats that you want to maybe, fade?
I mean, anytime the Rays have a matchup that I absolutely despise, you can count me in for fading Randy.
Oh, okay.
Little
Randy fade.
The one time we faded him is that bar that you don't see in the middle there because he didn't do shit.
Wow. And you're getting those same vibes today, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Randy, he's super – you need a pitcher that – Sandy's not a big strikeout artist, but he was against the Rays first time around. I guess his line's a little higher. That maybe could indicate that he has potential for that today. But Randy, unless you have a pitcher who's going to fill up the strike zone with not overpowering stuff, I really don't care to back him, especially when it's a guy like Sandy who's super efficient at generating softer contact. At least he has been, in the second half of the season. I'd be down to fade him.
Okay. Example craps. Pablo is plus 150 as a minus 170 home dog tomorrow. Matt, thank you. Talking to me like I'm 4. Sometimes I need it. It's good. And I'm super down to fade Randy today. Hate to say it. I know you don't want to hear it, but we might have to be doing it.
I want to hear it. I brought it up, so I'm fine. I'm fine doing that.
You're not gonna lose any sleep?
Yeah, I will not lose sleep.
Okay. You want to fade Soler today? I just want to spite fade him, man. He does not respect any coins. Can we just spite fade and not even talk about the reasons why and just take his less than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs because he does not respect coins?
I can't find myself to do that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay. All right.
It feels like to me, this is the classic Rays game that I see it fall out every time. It's a pitcher's duel until somebody, aka the Rays pitcher, gives up 2 moonshots that are 450 plus. And when I look on the board and I see the hits, runs, RBI, who are the 2 guys that probably scare me the most to do that exactly?
Bell and Soler.
Yeah, so I'm not fading. One of those guys is going to do it today.
Okay, noted. Well, then let's move to the next game. Let's go to LA and Philly. Don't let the Phillies get hot, chat. It might be too late. They've got Lorenzen on the bump against Anderson. Looks like a little revenge narrative here, pitching against one of his old teams. I know he's on the Angels before the Tigers, I believe. I think he was there for a couple of years. A little revenge game for Lorenzen, who's been a little sketch. Any thoughts on the side or total in this game, Javon?
Yeah, I do lean some runs in this game. I guess maybe scares me a tad after what we saw at least yesterday with that game sneaking over. Probably should have gone over by more. But the Phillies, I think they hop all over Tyler Anderson. They've been fantastic against lefties. They're top 10 in every statistical category pretty much in the last month or so. Even you can go further than that. And Tyler Anderson, A, he's been getting barreled up to shit. B, he doesn't have command of the strike zone. And C, I guess a couple of these guys have seen him quite a bit, which that's why a couple of the guys probably could have been on the cheat sheet for the history they have against him. And one of them's Trey Turner off a 2 home run game, and the other one's Bryce Harper, who's lefty, but he's seen him a good bit, found success, and he's also been absolutely ridiculous as of late. But, history aside, what do I think the best matchup is on paper? It's Nick Castellanos. Up and down, I go through the lineup, and I don't think Tyler Anderson can have much success today. I think they're going to destroy him. So I don't think Lorenzen's going to be perfect either. You see all of his lines, which are against a pretty anemic Angels offense relatively, and they look very similar to when we faded him against the Nationals off the perfect game, and all the lines he's gotten in the games he's gotten blown up since then. It's I don't think he's going to be fantastic either. I just think this is a game we get runs. God forbid Lorenzen pitches pretty well, which I don't think he's going to be perfect. Like I said, we get into the bullpens, which is always an adventure when we talk about either of these teams, especially the Angels.
Yeah, I thought the Phillies bullpen's pretty good.
It's been good. It's just, I don't know. It's almost the Angels. The Angels, whenever they play a really good bullpen where you don't expect them to get runs late, they do, which the Reds were kind of doing that earlier, when they were super, super hot. It's the Angels are that weird team that gets runs late in games, no matter who they're facing. So that's kind of in the back of my mind.
Sure. I'm with you on runs in this game. I could get behind the over. Lorenzen's been getting rocked recently, coming back down to earth. Anderson's coming off a nice start. He's got a bigger name than his actual results back up. He's actually not very good, in my opinion. That totals up from 9 to 9.5. I'm down to take the over and back these two offenses and fade these bullpens, like you said, and just fade both these starting pitchers, like you said. Any way we can back any of these bats on either of these teams. I looked at the Lorenzen squares. I don't really love fading him today, but maybe backing, a bat on the Angels or, maybe that Castellanos square, but I don't really love that. I'd rather take like Nolan Schanuel. I don't even know how to say that guy's last name, but the rookie who got called up like a month after he took his final exams. He's been red hot. Wouldn't mind backing him, or maybe Rengifo.
Yeah, I mean, I love backing Rengifo Bonds. That's like anytime he's up, that's probably my guy. I think this is one of the, I don't want to say the first time, but maybe a handful of times, maybe once or twice that you've seen Nolan up, which he's the leadoff. So I really don't love taking hit run RBI guys when they're leading off. But in a situation like this where he hasn't really been up like in the majors for long in the first place, but he's also like really hasn't been fantastic either. I wouldn't mind throwing that to the side, but I do like Rengifo. He's been a sneaky cash cow, and he's been up too.
I'm in. Rengifo Bonds. We move. Let's go to New York and Detroit, Javon. Yankees win coming through yesterday. I'm starting to hate them a little bit less, if that's even possible. We're seeing the line move back towards the Yanks again today. Not really that surprising. It is still the Yankees versus the Tigers. We're going to keep that in mind. But let's also keep in mind that the Tigers might even be a better team at this point than the Yankees besides Judge. So I don't think the lines are, that weird, but I also think it's, probably not the best day to take the Tigers if that line's moving towards the Yankees in this spot after last night with King on the bump against Skubal. And it looks like on paper the Tigers do have an advantage, at least with the starting pitchers. I don't really think King is that great. He is coming off a nice little start, though. Is it Yankees again today on the road?
Seems like it. Like this right here. Yankees are playing a lefty or facing a lefty who throws a lot of fastballs, which what is the one thing that the Yankees do well? That exactly. So I have absolutely no problem taking them against Skubal. I do think like Skubal, he's going to be very boomer bust today. Like I think the Yankees are going to score runs, but I also think Skubal has the potential to go out there and get 10 strikeouts like Reese Olson did. I think it's going to be much different, but I do like the Yankees bats to score a little bit today, so I would go nowhere near fading them.
Any opinions on Anthony Volpe, hit run RBI up on the board?
Yeah, I mean, twist my arm for that one.
After a nice little 0 for 4 day with a strikeout against the Tigers.
Yeah, and you know who I always take when I think the Yankees are in a really good matchup against the lefty? Bader Bonds. Staring me in the face. You say dude like he's not always green every time we take him.
I just don't like him.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But it's green.
I just think he's a tool. But I'm kind of a tool too, so it's okay. We'll let bygones be bygones. Can we fade Judge today?
No.
Why not?
No, dude. No.
Come on.
No. Why? Why do you I know why you want to fade Judge, but like why do you get the itch right now? Right? Yeah. Why do we get the itch right now?
I'm legally obligated to bring it up. Okay. I don't have the itch today though. And shout out E-Hoff for coming in with the sub bang. W's Beast, 5 months. Love it. But yeah, no, I'm not in the mood to fade Judge today, but I did have to bring it up and see what you said. But when he's hot, he's hot. Oh, mom and dad are arguing again about Judge. Yep. When he's hot, he's hot. And he hit a home run last night. I'm good on fading him until he comes back down to earth.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with it. We'll go Volpe and Bader. Any Tiger squares?
I don't think they had all that much up. That was interesting to me.
They got Jake Rogers, beautiful Fu Manchu up there again. I feel like he never comes
Yeah. Well, he does when he's facing, like I always say, he's facing a righty. He's a lefty specialist. Like he's up there against lefties. So if he's facing a righty, which it's going to be Michael King and then Brito, so they're both righties. If he's up there for a righty and he's in the lineup, it's a great sign for him. Okay. And I wouldn't mind putting that in entry.
So if he's up there, by the time lineups are out, we're taking the squares, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Let's move to Chicago and Baltimore, Javon. You down?
Yep.
Sure. We got Schultens versus Kramer. I'm pretty sure we tried to fade Schultens last time and he pitched a gem. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe that was 2 starts ago. Either way, I'd be down to get some revenge on Schultens and maybe back some Orioles bats in this spot, maybe on Prize Picks. You like any plays on the book in this one, though?
Not particularly. The start that you're talking about with Schultens, that was the A's F5 day where they scored the 4 runs in the the 4th, and then Ken Waldichuk did Ken Waldichuk things. So yeah, I don't really know what to do with him today, to be honest with you. Target him because the A's have been hitting the ball hard, especially against righties, especially like a lot of the guys new at the top of the lineup. The Orioles, like, as good as they've been, Trent Cake, as good as they've been, they really haven't been hitting the ball that hard. And Schultens, like, since he's been a starter, like, you can see it kind of progressing through each start. Like, his strikeout stuff's getting better and better, which, I mean, it's a guy with like a 3.5, 4 strikeout lines. Like, how much better can you say? You can take it with a grain of salt, but like, I think he pitches somewhat decently today. I really don't like Dean Kramer, but I guess the thing on his side is you don't have many like power lefties in the lineup for the White Sox, he's another guy who like struggles against them. It's just like, if Benintendi and Yasmani Grandal are going to beat you by themselves, then they'll beat you, whatever. But I really don't know what to do with this game, to be honest with you. I think the White Sox honestly might be kind of live here.
Whoa. You think Schultens might be a live dog here, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's less him. Like, I think he pitches all right, not incredible, but Dean Kramer is always a target to blow up at any point. And, you know, he's been a regression target really the entire season. We haven't seen it in certain spots, but when we do, it's big and it's bad. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the White Sox come through and do that today, especially if we end up getting like a shootout type atmosphere in this game, which would be kind of tough. But I wouldn't mind backing the White Sox.
Yeah, we got a Kramer taco. Okay. I like runs in this game. We're seeing the juice move from the under -115 to the over in this game. So I think we're getting runs probably from both sides. I don't think it'll be like a 9-0 Orioles game. I don't think it'll be a 9-0 White Sox game in this spot. But I think gun to my head, I'm taking the over. Would not mind sprinkling on the White Sox ML. I think with teams at this point of the season, if you're going to back a team like the White Sox, who is mentally out of it, you know, they don't have the best team overall anyways, and they really just have nothing to play for and they're kind of dead. I think if you're going to take a team like that, you just go for the ML and you go half you instead of going with the +1.5. They're not going to show any heart late in the games. They're not going to put in their A bullpen at times. It's going to drive you nuts. You're going to rip your fucking eyeballs out watching it because they might put in somebody who they're trying to see about next year being on the roster. So just like the Nats, hate to say it, but same spots. If you're going to take them, first of all, think twice about it. Second off, maybe just take the ML and go half you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm on that.
Okay. All right. I don't like any squares in this game. I just looked. Do you?
No.
I hate them, actually. Like,
I despise the squares.
It made me mad looking at them. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the Nats game. This is going to make me mad, too. Javon, what's the book play in this one? Is it just square up and take Toronto -1.5 and plus check and go about your day?
No, I really honestly don't want to take much in the book in this game because I think it's kind of pigeonholing me. But if I had to take anything, it would be a team total for the Jays, which I absolutely despise doing because they just never hit when I take them. But the thing that has been working quite a bit has been the first 5 -1/2. Like, that would be probably the way that I would go about this. Because like I said, I think Mackenzie Gore gets absolutely shelled. I don't think Barris is going to be immaculate either. I think they make him work, but I trust the Jays bats against Gore more than I do the Nats against Barrios. So I think early on we'll kind of see that.
Not many Nats squares up. I wouldn't mind taking Meneses. Hit run RBIs. He's kind of dialed right now. I don't love it, but I like it. Are you fading Gore today? Are you fading his pitching outs? Are you fading his hits allowed? You know, he's a walker. That hits allowed square looks weird, but he's a walker, Javon. So I don't love fading him by taking his more than hits allowed. Yeah,
not at all. I hate doing that, especially because the Jays, like I talked about them being top 10 against lefties in a lot of categories. One of those categories is walks. So that's kind of why I'm leaning into them being well, too, because I think they're going to be patient, and I think they're going to hit them up. So it's tough, you know, with no fantasy score up for Mackenzie Gore today.
No, it's probably for a reason.
Something like that. Like, I struggle with that.
All right. Let's go to the Blue Jays bats. Maybe we can just fade him that way. I'll tell you right now, I want to take that Cave and Biggio TB square.
Yeah, 100%. If he ends up playing,
yeah.
Got
what else you like?
I really don't love too much else because I hate taking everybody else that's on the board. Like I despise going to Vladimir Bow unless I feel super, super confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind going to Whit Bonds, but I don't really love it that much either. I think it's just Biggio or nothing.
That's so deep. Okay. Maybe Whit Merrifield as well, but probably Kevin Biggio, the weirdest square in that game. All right.
Yeah.
I wish we could fade McKenzie on his walks allowed or on his fantasy score, but we can't. They're probably not putting him up for a reason. All right. Let's go to Houston and Boston.
Yeah,
Cool with that?
2.5 walk. Yeah, he's at 2.5 walks in the books. That makes you feel any better.
I mean, let's go ahead and take that on the books. He's walking 3 or more for sure. All right. Houston, Boston. You've already talked about it a little bit, Javon. Thoughts? Plays? Favorite angles?
Yeah, I don't mind going back to the Astros to score runs, which, again, I very rarely would do after what they did offensively yesterday. But after what happened in this matchup that just happened last week, I mean, the Astros, what they do, lose by 2 touchdowns or something like that? Because JP France got absolutely destroyed. He didn't last, I don't think.
11 hits to Boston in his last start.
I mean, that was ridiculous. And then Bale, like, honestly, like, he had a pretty impressive performance. Like, if you look at the totality of his start, 7 innings, 1 run is fantastic. But A, you're playing with a massive lead, which helps. But B, 9 hits in that start, a lot of hard hit balls, which is exactly what I'm looking for a lineup to bounce back against the same guy when they're facing him literally the next start. So consecutive starts against the same team, especially when it's the Astros, is very tough to do. And especially when you give up a lot of hard contact to that lineup in the first game, that doesn't really come to fruition. And you have Yordan Alvarez in the lineup when you struggle against lefties. You have Kyle Tucker in the lineup when you struggle against lefties. So I think take that any day of the week. Any day of the week. Altuve, I like the lineup to score runs. So if that's up and I like the lineup, put in an entry. But
is he crossing home plate, Javon?
He's crossing home plate. It's probably going to be on a Yordan swing. So I am all for it. I saw somebody mention earlier, like all that I said, and the Red Sox are still favorites. They won the same matchup in Houston by 2 touchdowns a week ago. That's why they're still favorites. You can't really make them a dog. So I don't think they're really getting much respect. It's more of that game, plus they're in Fenway where they always get respect.
Yep. You're right. And I think the sides are sketchy here. And I don't really want to take the Altuve square, but I could definitely get behind the Yordan Alvarez TV square for sure. Any thoughts on Pena hit run RBIs, Javon?
How did that do yesterday? I didn't keep tabs on that because that was also up yesterday.
Yesterday he went 2 for 5 with a run.
I don't love
Maybe
going
stay
to
off
that.
it today. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, like if I'm going to anything in this game, it is Kyle Tucker or Yordan Alvarez. Of course, like I love Altuve, and I think he's going to do just fine, and I have no problem putting that in entry. But I mean, off a cycle, I'm probably pretty good. And Brian Bayo's pitching; you can't pitch to lefties. So,
are you fading Bayo today? He's got a fantasy score up that's very low.
Yeah, I mean, it was 24.5, I believe, in Houston when he threw a masterclass, and now you're only seeing 26.5, which is pretty strange. All the juice is moving down on plenty of his props as well. He was super efficient in that start, and like if you look on the books, 17.5 pitching outs went from minus 125 to plus money. It's now sitting at most places. It's like I don't think he's going to pitch all that well. I don't think he's going to pitch that long either, so I have no problem fading him again.
All right. Staying away from Duvall today. He looks like bait, but can you give me a thumbs up on that story hit run RBI square? That's weird that that's up.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I like Alex Verdugo. He's up today.
What are you taking for him?
Scroll up. Does he have a fantasy score today? I don't think that's up every day.
Over 7 or more than 7 fantasy score?
Yeah, count me in for that.
Okay. We got a lot of squares in that game. Good, because there's going to be runs. I'm with it.
Yeah, 10.5 total. Down.
Yep, there should be squares. All right, let's keep moving and grooving, chat. We got to power through these last couple games here. We got about 10 more minutes, and then we'll do the squad rides. Texas and the Mets. Javon, any plays on Heaney versus Quintana on the books?
Hate this game so much because I think Heaney pitches honestly pretty well. I don't think he's going to be like the Mets have not been striking out much against left-handed pitching, which like if Heaney wants to pitch well, he has to have elite strikeout stuff, which I don't think he's going to have today necessarily, but I also think he pitches pretty well and is pretty efficient. I think the Mets hit into a lot of soft contact today, which is pretty irregular for an Andrew Heaney start. So like I lean the Rangers, and with the 20-cent steam we've started to see here, but
25.
yeah, something like that. This game is super, super weird to me.
Yep. Well, it involves the Mets, so I'm cool with staying off. But at least on the Prize Picks board, you can give me a thumbs up on that Mitch Garver, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs.
I mean, I can do that pretty much anytime.
Let's hope he plays. He respects Coin.
I would assume he's going to play with Quintana on the mound.
Okay, against a lefty. Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out Seager for coming through last night. Respectfully, I don't want to go back to him again unless you absolutely are in love with him. But W play.
I like, yeah. I mean, if we're going to a GOAT, I like Semien much better.
Okay. You like Semien better today? What about any Mets? You like any Mets today? DJ Stewart up for TB. That dude's been cracked. Wouldn't mind fading him. You got Lindor run up there. You got Quintana fantasy score potentially, backing or fading. Any of these squares?
No, I'm good. Like I said, I think it's going to be a relatively slow game. I think we're going to see something maybe somewhat similar to yesterday. Kind of just sneaks under the total. We're not getting all that much offense. So I don't love just spamming, offensive squares necessarily.
Sure. Let's go to Cleveland, Minnesota then, Javon. We got Gavin Williams against Pablo Lopez, who we faded last time, and it worked out perfectly. Now he's laying minus 175 after a 25-cent line move towards them against a pretty good Gavin Williams. It looks like Pablo's probably going to get it done today.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking so.
Okay.
I don't want to play anything in this game necessarily. I do think it's Pablo, and you get good starts from both these guys, but there's definitely a square that I think you're going to want to hop in and fade.
Is it a bat on Cleveland?
It's a bat on the Twins, actually.
Oh, don't tell me Michael A.
No, not Michael A.
Is it Royce? Didn't he do something yesterday? Yeah.
Said grand slams in back-to-back games.
All right. We can go ahead and add him to the card. Royce Lewis, less than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I hate fading that square anytime it's on the board because it's been an absolute cash cow. And I love Royce Lewis. He's starting to hit really well, see the ball well, and play good baseball. But finally putting that square up after 2 grand slams is wild.
100%. 100%. Any Guardian squares we can back? I don't really think so, man. They got that Will Brennan hits, runs, RBIs up. That might be it, though.
Yeah, not loving that.
Not loving it. Okay.
Yeah, you could probably play Jose Strikeout. That's fair, especially if he comes up with anybody on base.
Unbelievable. You guys are talking about that Lindor run, liking that in chats. I don't think it's that weird. It's only hitting 3 of the last 5. I'm good on that. Let's move. Let's groove. And yeah, Chad, if you want to take Michael A. Taylor, sure. That dude's a GOAT. People forget he's got a ring. 2019. All right. Padres, Cardinals. Finally a game that I love. I want to take the first 5 over in this one, Javon, and I want to fade Lugo and Thompson, who have been a little too good recently, and I want to back these 2 offenses against them. We see 2 earned run squares up for both Lugo and Thompson in this spot, and I would like to fade both of them, take their more than runs allowed, and take the first 5 over in this game. What are your thoughts?
100% can co-sign immediately. I think
Let's
those are
go, dude.
we see quite the opposite of what we got yesterday.
Why did I see J-Ram on the screen?
We're talking about
there
a
he is.
strikeout.
There he is. Yeah.
Good.
Get that out of there. Dude, we got to be better. I didn't even know you're up here, Trent. I'm looking at the Prize Picks board, and I just hear your voice after we're talking about J-Ram. I should have known.
He just spawned.
Wait,
Yeah.
what was the J-Ram
Strikeout.
nugget? You striking out?
He's striking out.
Especially. Yeah, I said if he goes to bat with anybody on base. It's
Oh,
free
yeah.
square.
Goots, pull up the earned runs category and take a peep at your Padres starter and take a peep at Zach Thompson, because they're both weird squares, and this is screaming at me first 5 over. It might be my favorite angle on the board today. We're getting runs. We got Zach Thompson, who stinks, but he's been pretty freaking good recently. He's a red-out gob on Prize Picks. He's at 2.5 earned runs. Definitely nuking that more than. And then you got on the other side, you got Lugo, who's been pretty damn good all season. And he's up for an earned run square, and he looks red. So I want to back his more than earned runs allowed too, and I want to take that first 5 over, and I'll meet you guys at the table. What do you think?
No issues. I mean, Lugo,
Trying to
I
get
would
on that?
say Lugo's always up for that. But Zach Thompson being up for that is weird.
Yep.
I mean, I'm back on the table with Krabs' fucking earned runs allowed after yesterday.
Yes. Bro, literally one loss and you were so out on it. Like literally one loses.
That was
We're
so
back.
lit.
We're back. Okay.
Unreal.
They've got a Merrill Kelly square up there today. We'll get to that one in a minute. But we might have to be fading another D-backs pitcher today on the earned runs cat.
Surprised you
have
don't
to.
want to take Uncle Chuck.
Uncle Charlie was looking at me funny too. Let's take a peep at it. Might as well. We're already here.
Yeah,
Good. So let's take a look at Uncle Charlie's earned run square because it's looking like he's going to have a tough day today. Now he is pitching in Coors.
Yeah,
right?
it is
So that's
course
kinda
like the
why I just
line.
stayed
The
on.
line isn't weird, but the fact they're offering the square coming off of he's looked like the greatest pitcher of all time the last 3 weeks, last three
Yep.
starts.
And he's facing the shit Rockies.
Yeah, the shit Rockies. I mean, it's interesting that we're seeing that.
Okay.
Fellas.
Javon, we've got about 10 minutes. We'll go over all the plays you like for the rest of the games. But Trent, what do you got, brother?
I really need y'all's help the rest of the week, man.
Yeah, we got you, bro.
I need you more than ever right now. I've never had this much coin in the book account.
Do you remember what I said last night? Because I don't think you did. I think, honestly, after you hit those bets, I don't think you heard anything, which is okay.
I did.
About keeping 5K in the pocket and playing around with the rest. And if you get to that 5K mark, you're an idiot and you call it and you still have 5K in your pocket. But you play around with that other 2K, mess around with it. And that way you know you're coming home with 5 beats.
Yes.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
I think
Do it.
you have to go in with a plan every single day of exactly how many bets you're going to place.
Yes.
Straight bets. No.
Have you locked in anything yet?
Only
Full
thing
transparency.
Only full transparency. Only thing I've locked in today is the exact same surge 6 as yesterday.
Okay, well, we knew that was happening. Javon just quit BTL. Trent, how much did you put on that?
$100. $100.
All right. Well, you know what? You can tell your bookie, text them that you can send you $100 less.
Like we have to be so much better.
One unit,
much
dude.
better.
Do you
Like,
bet
you
on the
put-
team who won the Super Bowl last year to win it again this year? Fuck no.
Do you like push that when you wake up, turn over on bed and push that button? Like, what goes through your head? Do you think like this is hitting?
It might be just a respect thing
All right.
for the coins coming home last night.
I want you guys to keep crafting. Keep going. Keep
Yeah.
going.
We'll be on Surge Stream today. I'm down to
Yeah.
stay on there and work with you. I want to help you lock in some plays today so you don't lose all the coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got you. All right. Javon, we got about 7 minutes. Take us through the last couple MLB games, whatever plays you like. I've already went over mine.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about, I guess, Royals first 5 -1/2. Think Reagan's absolutely deals. Probably don't want to skip Brewers Cubs. I know you love the under there. I'm not against it, but if I'm being 100 with you, I'm taking that UFE on the books, and there's going to be a run in the first day. Have to do it.
So maybe live bet the under after the first.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you even see a boost for a 6.5, 7, whatever, bouncing back and forth total boost on the NRF, it's already been hitting for a lot of these games. Now you see it on the 6.5, 7 total. Give me a break.
Okay.
But we'll see that early. I like a lot of the guys at the top of the lineups too, like Yelich and Dansby Swanson are both guys, which I don't know where Dansby's going to hit today, but both guys that are near the top of the lineup and have good numbers, and I like them. So taking it early, probably going to live bet with you. Wouldn't hate taking the Rockies to keep it in it. Like, I think this is going to be probably a more classic Coors game that we see, not in terms of runs, because like we saw those yesterday. Like, I think it's going to be similar total wise, but I think the Rockies kind of keep themselves in this one. Another situation where, like, I love their bats to score runs off of Charlie Morton, but I also think he's going to come back and strike out 6 or 7, maybe more than that. I don't know what his line is off the top of my head, but Rockies can hit a curveball. But also, when you're in Coors, off speed is not moving the same. That's kind of the reason that a lot of pitchers struggle in Coors. So we'll see how Charlie Morton kind of reacts after that. But I do think the Rockies score today. Reds aren't winning. Move on. It's probably it.
Hate to say it, but Giants ML is probably a decent play today with me on the bump. Yep.
Yeah, they're just too injured at this point. I think the Matt McClain IL stint.
That might be the nail in the coffin. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the nail in the coffin.
That might be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and they're a popular. I don't know, because Brandon Williamson's been so good recently. He's had this little Graham Ashcraft like resurgence that everybody's obsessed with the Reds because it's a fat number today. I'm good.
Okay. Are you finally throwing in the towel?
Not throwing in the towel because, like, I mean, there's still a game and a half out, 2 games ish. Plus, like with the Cubs playing the Brewers this week, and a couple series after that, like they play Cubs, I think next. We'll see. Like this like next week and a half will determine it.
Okay.
So not throwing in the towel.
Big 2 weeks coming up, chat, and a big squad ride we got to get to right now and get some winners going, get them flowing after a nice squad ride W yesterday. We are now 119, 79, and 3. 119, 79, and 3. Who else is doing this, chat? And who else is letting their chat pick the winners? Nobody. Let's run it back today. Javon, what are your favorite book plays? What do you got?
Yeah. I mean, Reagan's Masterclass is up there. The Royals first 5 -1/2.
Oh. Okay. What else?
I mean, you probably don't like going back to it, but the Astros team total at the very least. I don't know how you would want to back them, if at all, in that game, but
I'm fine with that.
okay.
I'm fine with that. Houston TTO, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Can we go San Diego, St. Louis first 5 over? I love that play.
Yeah, love that play. Very down with that.
Okay, I believe that is. We'll just do first 5 over for now. What else, Javon?
What else do we have?
Over 4.5 is that team total, by the way.
Yeah.
We've got, well, the Giants ML I'd like to put in there.
Yeah, fine.
San Francisco money line, and then wouldn't mind taking the Dodgers again, although that'll win the poll. I would actually like to take the Rockies in some capacity, maybe Rockies plus 1.5, although I was just saying teams like that aren't worth plus 1.5. But if we think it's going to be a little bit of a low-scoring affair in this game overall, we know Morton's going to get rocked at least. Or we could take Colorado first 5. If you want to fade Morton and just fade that prize pick square, I wouldn't mind doing that. Or we take Miami.
I mean, I have no issue taking the Marlins.
Marlins what?
ML.
Marlins ML?
Yeah. I mean, I like the under too, but you seem a little more convinced on the Marlins.
Yeah. Let's go Marlins ML. Miami money line, chat. This is a quick squad ride, 2-minute poll. All right. Kansas City first 5 -1/2. Houston team total over. San Diego, St. Louis first 5 over. San Francisco money line and Miami money line. Hurry up, go, 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 go. Hurry up, go, 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 go. The Padres over is first 5 over 4.5, Goots, but just get it out there. All right? A little 1-minute poll. For the kids. Let's get those votes in chat. The poll is up in the Twitch chat. Hurry up, go, 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 go. We got a sub bang from Peyton 402. Love it. We got Ehoff coming in, sub banging. We've got a squad ride we're voting for right now, chat. Let's get another W. I would love to sweep this week and build a bankroll, Javon, for football coming up. We've got plays on Thursday. I've already taken a quick peep at those college football lines. I'm sure you have too. I got a couple angles I freaking love. And we got to build that bankroll up with these squad rides as we get breezy, giving out another sub bang, Javon W's. Chat, if you guys haven't joined the freaking Survivor pool, I know Javon's in there. I put the link in the chat. I definitely spelled Survivor wrong, but the link is in the chat. It is free to join. You can win Super Bowl tickets. The entire Book It squad is going to be in this, talking about it, sweating it out all year. Don't you guys want to hop in and compete with us and talk shit to me on Twitter when you beat me and last longer in the Survivor pool? I'm sure you do. It's free. You can win Super Bowl tickets. Get the freaking BetSperts Survivor pool. Log in. The link is in the chat. All right?
Here we go.
Get this poll up. The link is in the chat. We'll get this poll going. Hurry up. Get those votes in. Go, 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 go. Hurry up.
Commanders week 1, Krabs.
Oof. Well, and now that the Cardinals are tanking, we might have to take them.
If you drop out week 1 to a Josh Dobbs legacy game, possibly.
Josh Dobbs will find a way to cover that game. His smart ass. He will find a way to cover that game. No, I will not be on the Manders. If anything, I'll be on the under because I don't know if the Cardinals are going to be able to score. Where's the link? The link is, I'm not even seeing it because I'm spelling Survivor wrong over and over again. Come on, Krabs. We got to
Gotta
be
be
better,
better.
man.
So
Here's a
much
link
better.
right here, boys. And we're going Marlins ML for the squad ride today. Let's stay hot. Let's get that 120th squad ride win. And we'll catch you boys at the counter. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, boys. Join that Survivor pool. Stick around for